Love is a strange paradox where the heart can leave but still linger, where someone can say, "We are done," yet never truly let you go. And if you have ever loved someone with an avoidant tendency, you know this well. They never come back in the usual way. They don't knock on your door. They don't send an emotional midnight text. Instead, they leave behind small traces, subtle signals, actions that seem meaningless but actually hold more than they are willing to admit. Today, I, Jim Rohn, will help you decode these signs. 6 subtle signs that show an avoidant X is silently wanting to come back to you. These things are not easy to notice, but if you know how to read between the lines that were never written, you will see the hidden truth beneath. And if this is your first time on the channel, make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss content that helps you gain deeper insights into the psychology of love, connection, and the mysteries behind human emotions. Now let's explore these signs together. Sign 1. They still silently keep track of your life. An avoidant X never comes back with a bold declaration. There are no emotional midnight calls, no love confessions in the rain like in the movies. Instead, they reappear in your life in a more ambiguous way, a shadow lurking in the corners of the online world, a presence you can't clearly see, but you can definitely feel. They won't like your latest photo, but an old picture from last year? That's possible. They won't message you to check in, but they'll watch every story you post, as if they stumbled upon it by accident. Except it's not accidental at all. A cryptic comment on a mutual friend's post, a song suddenly appearing on a playlist you once listened to together, all are unspoken signs. You might think, if they really care, why don't they just say so? But this is what you need to understand about avoidance. They don't run because they lack feelings. They run because emotions terrify them. Watching you from a distance is their way of maintaining an invisible connection without having to face the emotional storm inside them. They don't knock on your door, they just stand right outside in the shadows watching. And sometimes, just knowing that you're still there is enough to bring them comfort, though they will never admit it. This is just the first sign, and it's not entirely obvious. I'll continue revealing the next one. Sign 2. Silence is always their weapon. Silence. The loyal companion of the avoidant, but also their most dangerous betrayer. When an ex completely disappears, you might think they've forgotten you, that you're just an old chapter in their life. But with an avoidant, things are never that simple. Their silence is not forgetfulness. It's a battle. They want to text you. They truly do, but then they stop. They type out an emotional message only to delete it before hitting send. They look at your name in their contacts, scroll through old conversations, and then put the phone down. They are struggling within themselves, caught between the desire to reconnect and the fear of getting hurt. They are not as indifferent as they seem. They're just masters at hiding their vulnerability. And then one day that silence will break. Maybe it's a random late-night message. "I just had a dream about you, so weird." Or a question so ridiculous that you can't help but laugh. "Do you remember the name of that cafe we went to?" As if Google doesn't exist. They will try to appear casual, nonchalant. But understand this, an avoidant never reaches out unless something inside them is cracking. If they break their silence, it means you still exist in their mind, whether they admit it or not. Sign 3. They talk about you as an unfinished story. If you think an avoidant will completely disappear from your life, you're mistaken. They don't text, they don't call, they don't reach out to you directly, yet somehow your name still surfaces in their conversations. You are no longer the person they love, but your name lingers on their lips when they talk with friends. You are no longer in their life, but you remain a memory they unconsciously recall when someone mentions the past. You are no longer close, yet you still come up as a casual inquiry passed through a mutual friend. So why? Why does someone who is so determined to leave keep mentioning you? Because to an avoidant, you never truly left their mind. They don't know how to maintain love, but they also don't know how to let go completely. They distance themselves to protect themselves. yet they still need a way to keep you close. They talk about you not because they have forgotten, but because they are not ready to face their true emotions. And sometimes, speaking about you to others is the only way they can allow themselves to remember you. Without confronting what they really feel, stay tuned for the next signs to understand their true intentions. Sign 4. They don't rush to fill the void with a new relationship. When someone truly wants to come back, they won't use another relationship to escape their emotions. There are no rushed dates, no one suddenly appearing to fill the loneliness. Instead, they enter a phase of self-reflection and growth. This is not waiting in vain. It is a meaningful process. They learn to face their emotions, understand past wounds, and consider a different way to approach you. An avoidant may have once run from intimacy, but if they genuinely want to return, they will pause to reassess themselves. They might start spending more time on self-improvement, focusing on their career, or paying attention to personal values they previously ignored. They no longer seek comfort from others. Instead, they search for clarity within themselves. And here's the most important thing: if they are not rushing into a new relationship, it could be because no one else can replace you in their heart. Your absence is not just a void to be filled, it is a significant part of their realization about love and the relationship they lost. Their patience is not passivity, it is a sign of appreciation. Do you see this sign in them? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's continue exploring the next signs together. Sign 5. They no longer hide their pain. One of the clearest signs that an avoidant truly wants to come back is when they start expressing emotions they once concealed. If they used to keep their distance and avoid deep conversations, now they gradually reveal their vulnerability in ways you wouldn't expect. They might text at unusual times, not for casual check-ins, but to genuinely open up. Phrases like, "I really miss you," "I've been thinking a lot about everything," or "I wish I had done things differently," may appear. This is not just a moment of weakness, it's a sign that they are slowly shedding their emotional armor. More importantly, they don't just talk about themselves. They want to understand you. They may ask how you felt when the relationship ended, how you coped with the breakup, and whether you still have any feelings for them. If they are not making excuses or shifting blame, but are truly listening, it is a strong indication of change. But don't rely solely on words. Let their actions prove everything. If they genuinely want to reconcile, they won't just talk, they will act. Do you see this sign in them? Comment below. Sign 6. They reminisce about the past, not just for nostalgia, but because they recognize your value. You might notice them mentioning fun memories, humorous stories you shared, or even small, seemingly insignificant moments that actually held deep meaning. They might say, "Do you remember when we argued over a meal? Thinking back, it was so funny." Or, "I still haven't found anyone who understands me like you do." These words don't just express longing, they show that they are reassessing the relationship from a new perspective, one of appreciation. More importantly, if they not only reminisce but also express regret or acknowledge their mistakes, it's an even clearer sign that they are seriously reflecting. They might admit that they didn't appreciate you enough, were too careless, or let their ego affect the relationship. If these words are accompanied by a desire to make amends, it means they are no longer just living in the past, they are envisioning a future with you in it. The signs we have just explored can help you better understand their thoughts and emotions. When an avoidant truly wants to come back, it's not just about missing you or trying to reconnect. It's about a fundamental change in how they view the relationship, in their attitude and in their actions. The key is to observe whether they are genuinely serious and ready to rebuild a stronger foundation. Regardless of their efforts, the most important thing is still your own feelings. Listen to your heart, but also set clear standards to protect yourself. Love is not just about regretting the past, it's about committing to the future. Thank you for watching the video until the end. If you found this content helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss upcoming topics. Leave a comment sharing your thoughts. Do they show any of these signs? I'd love to hear your story. See you in the next video.